Josh, before we wrap, I wanted one of the executives I spoke to said that LeBron would stunt specifically Lonzo's growth. That Lonzo is really, he can play without the ball, but you really want the ball in his hands to make the decisions, and that he hasn't earned his first contract, his first big contract outside of his rookie deal, and that his father probably doesn't like the idea of that. What's your take as you are our Lonzo expert? How do you think Lonzo and Lonzo and LeBron would fit together? Would LeBron really stunt Lonzo's growth?
I have a tough time believing that LeBron would do anything but help Lonzo's growth. Off the court, obviously, because he can serve as a mentor. He can sort of point to him and say, hey, man, like take him under his wing, teach him, show him things on film, show him the work you put in behind the scenes. But on the court, you know, you talk about you want the ball in Lonzo's hands. When he has the ball in his hands, he gets it right out of his hands. You know, he's a guy who's going to try to get the ball into the most advantageous position possible. And a lot of times that's going to mean getting the ball to LeBron. If you have LeBron, you want to have someone who can get the ball to him without having to make the entire play up from up top. So I think that makes a lot of sense. If you have a guy like LeBron who can draw double and triple teams, and you have Lonzo who can play off the ball, that means a lot of wide open shots for Lonzo, for Kyle Kuzma, for Brandon Ingram, for whoever would be on those wings alongside LeBron. So I don't see how that stunts it. I think that assumes, again, that LeBron is going to be in this mode where he has to have the ball and he has to pound it for the whole possession. But again, I don't think he's going to be in a position where he needs to do that or where he feels that he needs to do that because he's going to be surrounded by other playmakers. He can blend into that. He can be a part of what they're doing rather than having to hijack the whole thing, because that's what the talent demands. Right. You know, so I would disagree with that assessment of what effect LeBron would have on Lonzo. I just think, and especially when you're talking about a kid like Lonzo Ball who grew up idolizing LeBron, like, you know that he would just be there at every step saying, you know, teach me your ways. Like, I want to do what you do. I want to see the game the way you see it. And bringing in LeVar and saying, well, the dad, this and that, I think that's nonsense. Okay, that means you've been paying attention to the wrong things, or you've been focused on the wrong things. Because Lonzo is not LeVar. Lonzo does not abide by what LeVar tells him to do. Lonzo is his own man. LeVar's not doesn't have like a direct line into his ear from Lithuania, like, hey, do this, that, and the other. Like Lonzo's doing fine without LeVar anywhere near him, 6,000 miles away. Like, so I don't see that being an impediment. I think they'll be fine. I think it would be a really advantageous partnership. And if you're Lonzo and you want to be the next great NBA player, who better to learn from than the current great NBA player?
Josh, I feel you. I made the argument because I thought it was an interesting point.
Absolutely.
I didn't wholeheartedly even agree with the point of view on it, but I thought it was a point that was worth exploring and studying. So there you have it. That's on Bleacher Report. You could also look for the article, as I mentioned, where I break down the ability, how can the Lakers get Julius Randle into this mix along with Paul George and LeBron James. That's pinned to my Twitter profile.
Just go to, and if you don't want to go through Eric's timeline, go to Bleacher Report, type in Eric Pincus. It'll take you to his archives. Read everything, but especially read about LeBron and about Julius Randle.
I've got another one that I'm going to cook up, but it's not Laker related, but it's still LeBron related. So I've got something in the burner that I've got to work on. So we've got lots